So, can we talk?
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with me.
I'm keeping that before the music. Hey everybody, percentages. Max isn't here because they are sleeping right now. And we just lost the recording, so we're gonna do it again. Audition is fucking up for some reason.
At least we caught it early this time, not after
we didn't lose
almost 2
an
hours.
hour and a half of backlog this time. Which we need to do that special on that game.
That was a bad day.
It was a great day. What the fuck are you talking about?
I meant the day we lost the hour and a half
yeah.
of podcast. That was a bad day.
But anyway, yeah, what have you two been up to?
Not much.
I just realized I never introduced you guys.
Nope.
Van?
Oh, hi. I'm Van.
And Eli.
Hi, I'm Eli.
And...
I'm waving. Hello.
Yeah, you're waving at a orb sitting on a stand.
It's a cute orb.
I need to add a face to it.
You really should.
Yeah, I realized that we've never properly introduced everybody, so we should probably actually do that. That's one of the questions.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do questions now and then?
Yeah, let's do questions.
And then we can talk about
fast
food.
So we asked for questions, and if you want to give us questions, go to ask.fm/spidersquid or hit any of us up on Twitter, really.
Yeah.
At SpiderSquidCom or at Recurring V's or at Eli Kisses Rats or at Pansy Boyfriend or at Squeaking Hiccup. Or hit us up through contact@spidersquidproductions.com if you want to send an email, if you've got a longer question, or just something to say. Or one of our Tumblr asks.
Yeah, well, we can post links.
Yeah, links to everything will be in the show notes. Dear God, that's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got a few questions. And first one is, how'd you come up with the name? And I don't know if that's referring to percentages or to Spider Squid Productions.
I actually don't know either of those answers. So.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who
Gabby does.
I'm the only one who knows percentages because it was... Well, Percentages was originally a diary. It was just an audio diary that I did by myself after work in the morning or whenever. There's actually the early episodes, I think I did one a day for like a week or two. And then eventually I drug Max in to do it with me. But yeah, Percentages was just like, I was only going to do 100 episodes. And each one was going to be like a diary entry, and then I would just stop. But... I said fuck it, and now it's an actual like thing, and so the name doesn't make sense, but it's staying because I'm not changing the fucking feeds. Yeah, that's about it. Also, iTunes won't let me change the name of a podcast once you submit it, so yeah, they're dicks. But yeah, it was just going to be like a % of my life or whatever. I don't know. I had some meaning to it that actually mattered a year ago that doesn't anymore. Yeah, so as for Spider Squid Productions, that was actually a joke between Seiji and I, and it was, because we were writing something together that actually started all of this, and the first thing that you hear about in the story is a giant half spider, half squid robot that's wrecking a town. And so we made a joke name out of that, and it stuck. And so now that's what it is. We probably could have come up with something better, but again, this was 2008. Yeah, it was December 2008 when we came up with it. So yeah, whatever. As for everything else, Recurring V's is very personal, like for myself. And then it turned from that being just me doing that stuff to all of us doing stuff on there. So it's kind of like back, he is actually Troy has a camera, but now it's just they have a camera in terms of the company name. But yeah, I don't know. I have weird, dumb ways of naming things. I just make references to my own shit in them.
I like cute names. I pick cute names for things. That's why I'm Pansy Boyfriend.
A boyfriend who is a pansy.
Also true, so...
Yeah. You're a tiny baby boyfriend.
Yes.
I kiss rats.
Yeah.
We have rats, yes.
Next question is, can you give us a quick rundown of who's who? Okay, this is going to be interesting. How about you guys introduce yourselves first, and then I'll run down everybody else.
Okay, I'm Vann. I am 21. I do music, art, and not as much with the games as I guess Gabby and Eli do, but I'm trying to do more. Yeah, I'm non-binary and gay. Yeah, so I think I have 2 songs that I've done so far for this stuff. So, but hopefully more. I'm trying to do one a week. We'll see.
You didn't do this one this week, though.
Yeah, I didn't do... Oh, I also write, but I just... Yeah.
Well, and you're going to be doing I guess this is going to be kind of a sneak peek at something. You're going to be doing a couple voices in Hunted.
Yes.
That's something we have to do today, actually. Okay. We have to do that today because I need to post it up for patrons.
Okay.
Patreon.com/SSP. And Eli?
Patronize us.
I'm Eli. I am 23. I do stuff. I used to write a lot. I'm trying to get back into it, but I don't know if that'll happen. And I'm also non-binary, and I do games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eli's my boyfriend wife.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'll run through everybody else, because by now, unless you're new to this shit, well, yeah, I guess if people are just starting to listen to this, I'm Gabby, 26, I'm trans, I play a lot of video games, I write a lot, and I sometimes draw, not so much recently. I do a lot of shit, it's all up on the internet, and that's about all I can really say about that. If you watch the Let's Plays, you know who I am, I guess. Unless you only watch Eli's stuff.
I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah, as for everybody else, there's Seiji, who... Her and I have been friends for my entire adult life, plus. And we started off doing this, writing something together that now will probably never see the light of day. And yeah, she does stuff in the background right now. Although we do the SSP After Dark stuff together, you know, the rabbit with her titty out. That's something we are doing that she is actually around for, but right now she's in the middle of working on something. It's kind of dark mode on it, so hopefully you'll see stuff from her again soon. Nothing at the moment, but eventually. There's also Max. Max is an artist. They play games sometimes and usually record podcasts with me, but again, been kind of busy. They're currently in school for nursing, and so they don't really have a ton of extra time for other stuff. We do work on a webcomic together, but it's kind of on hiatus because of school. Working on trying to get something around for that, but right now schedules are kind of conflicting. Also, they're in Australia. I should say that Seiji is in Sweden, originally from Finland. Then there's Amanda, who has not done anything in a while because she's kind of been going through some shit, and she just had surgery and shit, so she's kind of also not in a good physical place for doing things for a bit. But yeah, Amanda lives in New York. She writes and draws and is currently working on the concept for a comic. There's also Hayden, who is just joining us soon. They are helping me work on Dead in, right now, some design stuff, and eventually on the comic itself. And also eventually going to be doing Let's Plays if I can teach them how to record things remotely, because I am not on that end of the United States. So that could be interesting, doing that. Yeah, there's a lot of us scattered all over.
We're all queer. Yeah.
Every single one of us is queer. Everyone. Actually, yeah. The only two cis people in the group are Amanda and Seiji. Mm-hmm. So, fucking hell. But yeah, every one of us is queer. And the majority of us are trans in some way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, that's a thing. We do a lot of things, and that's us.
Yeah, I think that's part of the thing, is kind of like trying to create content that doesn't exist to some degree. I mean, there are obviously queer gamers and queer artists doing a lot of cool things, especially right now, like in indie comics you're seeing a lot right now.
Fuck yeah.
And stuff like that. But I think that's kind of our goal, is creating inclusive and safe content for people like us.
Because you don't see a lot of it. Even if it exists, it's hard to find, and there's not a lot of it.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and we also need to, if we aren't making safe content like Charnel House, or at least giving warnings about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's safe in that...
Safe in that there's a warning on the front, I guess?
Also, I'm just going to say this now. Charnel House starts tomorrow. It'll run Monday through Thursday. Watch the warning at the beginning to make sure that it's okay. It's also in the description if you can't... but fucking please watch that game if you can.
It is very intense, so if there's something in the warnings that you might not be able to handle, it would probably be best not to.
Yes, please keep yourself safe, but if you can handle it, fucking hell.
I didn't watch them play it. I think I might watch it.
Yeah, you went to sleep.
Yeah, I went to bed.
Yeah, that's all of us. We'll probably add more people as time goes on.
And that covers the next question.
Yeah, the next one was, is Max the only non-American? No. Also, Seiji is in Sweden, so...
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
we're all Americans.
We're in Washington. Eli and I have lived in Washington our whole lives. Washington State.
I bounce around everywhere.
Yeah, Gabby's been a lot of places. So.
We're
still spread out, I guess. Even if we're not all...
Well, because the U.S. is just a fucking giant country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hayden is Midwest, and Amanda is New York.
New York.
So, yeah, we're spread all over. Next one after that was, how do you like Titan Souls? Which is kind of funny because I mentioned on Twitter like a week ago that I found it hilarious that Total Biscuit was kind of an idiot, as usual, and was talking shit about Titan Souls being... there was a distinct lack of progression outside of fighting another boss after you unlocking another boss to fight, which is the basis for most games without like the frilly extra bullshit in them. So it's just a distilled version of a boss rush game. I don't know, like I don't see that as a bad thing. And apparently there was some drama because the lead artist on the game, printed out the tweet and hung it up on his fridge, and it pissed Total Biscuit off, and he had a whole fucking thing about it, and he did a fucking podcast about it, and was so angry, and I laughed my ass off.
I don't understand why you would want to deal with that kind of drama. Why would you engage? If someone makes a joke about you, and it wasn't even mean-spirited.
No, he just said this is now on my fridge and showed a pic. Like, there was nothing else about it, and TB flipped out. Although TB has like become like a prominent supporter of Gamergate, and he's a fucking MRA and all this other shit.
I don't know.
Shitty.
I don't know really anything about him, but that sounds horrible. So
he went from
total
being like
bummer.
He used to be like
total bummer.
He used to be a halfway decent asshole. Like, he was just like your typical jackass, and now he's
bearable.
Like super gross. So terrible British. He is British though. But yeah, like, I guess him and Jim Sterling used to be fairly, like, respectful of each other, and they, like, cut all ties now.
I have seen, like, arguments between them.
Yeah, they got into it a few weeks ago now. But,
I'm not very up on the
I only saw that because
regarding
you're not so hip with
I'm not
with the
gamer news.
I only saw that because Miracle of Sound like tweeted at them both, and it showed up in my feed because he tweeted at Jim first, and it was him saying like, "Don't fight," or at least not publicly, or something like that. But I have not picked up Titan Souls because my PayPal fucked me over this week, so I couldn't pick it up. I'm going to as soon as PayPal fixes their stupid fucking mistake, and I actually have money again. I'm going to pick it up because I do want to play it, and I do want to do some videos on it because it looks really, really cool. And I want to because also fuck Total Biscuit. And this next one's for you two because I did not play the game.
Yes.
The next
our
one
last
is,
question.
Do you like Life is Strange?
Yeah. And that's what we actually sat and recorded yesterday. And I like it a lot. I
really enjoyed it. I felt really engaged and like connected to emotionally connected to the characters, which, you know, I mean, somebody's doing something right. So it was beautiful. It was very immersive. It was engaging. I was worried. I was the one playing, and I wanted to look at all the stuff, and at first I was like worried that would be annoying for people watching. But like, I think that a lot of it's important. Or like, it goes in your, like, you have a journal thing, and it like goes in there, and I missed some stuff because I wasn't, like, I think I was trying to keep a fairly, you know, reasonable pace while still trying to catch a lot of the extra and little things. But well, and I think one of the things that I really enjoyed about it and that made me feel really connected to it was that some of the things they were dealing with, especially with some of the side characters, were handled really well. Mm-hmm. Like the one character who's pregnant, and like
it's a very
it's not, it doesn't feel like you're like, oh, we want to handle teen pregnancy. It's just hey, this is something that happened, and it's something that you deal with in life. So it just feels very well put together.
Yeah, it's it's obviously, you know, it's a very young game. I mean, I think that's what some people had complaints about was the dialogue. But, you know, we live on the West Coast. It's not that unbelievable.
Part of it is because it's set in Oregon, and some people were complaining about, like, oh, people saying hella this, and
that's normal.
Like, I have a younger sister who's 19, and legitimately that is what she sounds like.
I mean, like,
so
there's some cheesy lines, but when
you're in high school, you sound fucking cheesy sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm like, I said those things. Probably.
In high school only, you sound cheesy every fucking day.
Shut up.
Although I was just laying on the couch and I read the subtitles while you guys played. Mm-hmm. And I did notice that sometimes the dialogue looked a little stilted, like the wording and stuff. It was a bit too proper sometimes. Yeah,
there were a couple times where things were weirdly...
I didn't feel it.
It was written by French people, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a specific... There was a specific line...
where there was just too many words.
Mm-hmm.
Or not.
I guess I didn't notice.
Contractions weren't used when they should have been.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah,
like there were sometimes where contractions were just like, it's like, no, there should have been a contraction there.
So there were moments when the dialogue did feel really natural, and there were moments when there would be like one line and it would just be kind of jarring. And I did notice that.
I guess I didn't
but it
catch
wasn't
that.
It wasn't the slang.
No.
That did it for me. It was the things where it was like someone saying cannot rather than can't.
People had problems with it being like a teen hipster game, but I don't think
that all the characters are teen hipsters.
Yeah,
so
they're all teens at an art school or something like that, or a comment. There was a science guy too, I guess. I don't know, I
think it's just a school, like a prep school.
It looks like it has geared,
with a good arts
program. So, I don't know. I liked it. I think that it was lovable.
I think the most unbelievable thing was that in the dorms, everybody had their own room. Because I've lived in dorms before, and they will cram as many people as possible into those rooms.
I think that was also like a super expensive prep school, though.
And it's a small town.
And again, like I said during the video, at that point where everybody has to go meet on the quad,
there's like 8
people.
There's 8 people out there, so maybe they just have like almost nobody in the school.
That's
even
true.
in the class you're in, there's like 10 people in there.
Yeah.
If that, 8 to 10 people.
That actually kind of would make sense considering how worried the principal was about losing funding.
Yeah.
If their tuition, if the money they're bringing in from tuition is low because they don't have any fucking students.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Yeah. So the answer is we like it.
A lot.
Yes.
Watch it because it starts Monday.
No, yeah, it's really nice looking. It's really nice sounding.
Or actually, it starts today.
If you hate teenagers, then maybe it's not for you. But if you love fun...
If you hate teenagers, you're an asshole. So you can just move on.
I hate teenagers.
What? You're an
not
asshole.
Really. I don't actually.
Like, I don't know. People just hate on them a lot. And I feel
so
bad
small.
because being a teenager is like, you're
worst.
just trying to find your way in the world. And I feel bad for people who hate teenagers because teenagers hate themselves, so they don't need any additional hate. Although, like, if they're being total assholes, you can,
if they're...
That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Good game.
Yeah,
I'd recommend it, I'd say.
We're going to do part 2 soon.
I know we're a little late on...
Well, yeah, we're trying to catch up before part 3 comes out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But part 1 is this week. It'll all be out.
Actually,
this
the first
week.
Part's out today, so...
Yeah, Monday.
Because this is going up Monday, so it's out today.
Monday to Friday this week.
Yeah, outside of that, like, this weekend has just been us recording. It's...
Pretty much.
Holy shit. Like...
Yeah.
You guys fell asleep while I was recording stuff last night.
Yeah, I rolled over on the couch and was like, nope, done.
Yeah, I was kind of drifting in and out of sleep while you were playing Killer is Dead, and that was a little strange. But
yeah, Killer is Dead is one of those games that, like, I get really salty while playing it because it's super frustrating. And the salt actually almost caused me to lose to a boss last night, so I had to calm down, and it worked. That game is interesting, though, in terms of, like, some moments it's super over-the-top weird, and then other moments it's actually really somber and sad. So I'm kind of really digging it, though. What else have we done? I've just been playing a lot of Warframe.
I just ordered some shrimp for my fish tank.
We tried to go to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I forgot we haven't told it on this version of the recording. So, yeah, we tried to go to Chick-fil-A Wednesday. It wasn't open.
Yeah, it was opening the next day.
It's new. Yeah, it's a new Chick-fil-A in Tacoma, and there are none... I think there's one in Seattle, but I have never seen one in my life. Like, in real life. Well, I think I saw it maybe in other states, but not here.
I've never actually been to a Chick-fil-A in my life.
There's one across from my brother's school in California, and when I was down there, my family was nice enough not to suggest we go.
Good job.
Was it
your family?
Was it amid the the height of the controversy.
It was about a year ago, so it was a little after.
Yeah.
But I don't think they didn't want to deal with it because they didn't want me talking about. I wouldn't have gone with them, and they didn't want to.
You just wanted waffle fries.
Yeah, I wanted some fries, and you know what? Corporations are all corrupt. Let's be real.
Yeah, they're all shitty.
You're always contributing to something that sucks, which is like this thing that causes me existential crises like every day. But
so, did you mention everything that happened before?
Yeah, so we went, it was closed that day, but there were tents. There were tents outside, because I guess the first 100 people get, like, chicken a week for, some chicken each week for a year or something. They get
I would
chicken.
go camp out in front of Chick-fil-A if I got,
free food,
a free meal a week for a year.
We drove by and they were, like, hula hooping. There were some people hula hooping.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was so weird.
So we went back yesterday, a few days after that, and the line out the front door was ridiculously long. The cars were getting ushered by someone directing them back behind even where the buildings were. They were in the
parking lot of the next
store.
The next store. People were parking in the parking lot across the street and walking over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. It's fast food chicken.
It was Saturday, and it was nice out. So
that's what I want to spend my sunny Saturday
maybe they
doing.
were bored.
I don't know. It was. I've never been to a Chick-fil-A, so I don't know if the chicken is really that good.
Me either.
But like, I would just go to Popeyes. It's not that big a deal, and Popeyes has never been shitty to me. So.
Well, and like what we did was just drive down the street and go to Wendy's. Like,
I really do want to get Popeyes, though.
Yeah, we went to Wendy's.
Yeah, there's one pretty close.
I know, there's one like a mile and a half
I've
away.
never been to Popeyes.
I haven't
Popeyes
either.
is so good.
That's what they
Popeyes
tell
doesn't
me.
give a fuck. I told you guys this.
Yeah.
I used to live a block and a half away from a Popeyes back when I had very little money. Back when I was living in Michigan. And I used to go down there and just get like the $2.99 6-piece nugget meal, and they would just fill the fucking box with nuggets. I would open it up, there'd probably, like, the one time I counted 32 nuggets. They just didn't give a shit. So they would just take a big-ass scoop of nuggets, put them in there, and then fucking just pack them up with a shit ton of fries, and I'd pay $3 for a meal that was enough calories for a day.
Nice.
So, when you're living on the change you scrounge up and bottles you've returned, that's really nice. So I like them, and the chicken's not bad. So, yeah, this has been Fast Food Corner with 3 gays in Washington.
Yeah, local.
Well, yeah, we're talking about very localized,
very
specific fast food restaurants in areas we lived.
But that was our week.
Yeah, that was really our week, other than work sucking, and apparently I called in yesterday, but they didn't accept the call-in, so I have to go deal with that now, because nobody wrote my fucking name down. Every week is another issue with the management at the place we work, so.
I think that's, standard for a lot of places.
Yeah, but I called an hour after you did, and the same manager.
Like 4 hours after I did.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Eric
I called
was still
like
there
at 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I didn't
you
call
called
that
at like 6.
Either way, it wasn't. Eric was still there, and Eric was the same person who took down your name as a call out, and he didn't take down mine, which is the same thing that happens every time. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. It's.
I think it's great that like my boss that I hate is also named Eric.
Yeah, we all have. Every Eric I've ever met is
Eric.
a dick except Eric Sandine.
I don't hate Eric.
And I've never met Eric Sandine. He just does a podcast I really like.
I don't know.
I don't know, whatever.
We don't want to get into that.
Yeah, work issues.
That'll be like 3 hours.
That was like what the podcast started off as, was me complaining about work issues and shit and stuff, so whatever. No, it's been an interesting week. Lots of... God, I think total we'll have 35 videos to go up next week.
Yeah, we did a lot.
From Monday through Sunday.
A lot.
So yeah, things that were supposed to go up this past weekend aren't going up. They're going up next week, but or this week I should say.
My God.
What?
Okay, so we were gonna talk. I made a joke about talking about the drought in California and the corporations that are, causing some of the problem or whatever. So I'm looking in California. I'm just looking in like a California drought tag, the California drought tag on Tumblr. I just searched that, and up comes this post that says California drought engineered to force extreme climate change laws.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh my God.
Okay, want me to read?
Oh my God.
Oh, please
I
read
fucking hate people.
Okay. For anyone who has closely tracked the evolution of California's ever-worsening drought, it has been apparent from the very beginning that something is very wrong with this mostly man-made catastrophe. The purpose of this expose is to reveal the evidence, some scientific and some anecdotal, which indicates that this historic and unprecedented drought has been literally engineered from start to finish. Just like LA's Hollywood studios have produced so many disaster epics, the government corporate complex, caps, has quite purposefully staged this catastrophic drought throughout the statewide set of California. Again, the thesis of this essay is that both the U.S., and then it goes on further. So anyway, it's saying that the government made the drought, and industry made the drought so that we would believe in climate change.
Okay, well, that's sort of accurate. Like, there are many industries that have contributed to...
No, honey.
Don't lend credence to this.
There's a difference.
They're looking at that and saying that they did it on purpose.
No, honey, that's not what they're saying.
No.
You are giving credence to somebody
ridiculous.
who is just being ridiculous. Don't do that.
Credence.
Okay, so, no, there's a difference between... And corporations are contributing, and the government loves corporations. So, yeah, they're not touching it, but there's a very difference between them being like, we love money, and them being like, believe in climate change.
Yeah, because it actually...
They don't care about it.
Why would corporations want to do that?
Yeah, it would
because it would cost them
them
more money to change the way they do things.
Yeah.
There you go. Thesis disproven. Can we move on?
I was just trying to find, posts about Nestle, and was it just Nestle, or is Arrowhead a thing of Nestle?
Nestle
I'm not
owns
sure.
90% of the
I think
food
Arrowhead
in the
is
world.
Nestle's water branch.
Yeah.
But it was talking about them
Dasani is
doing...
Coke.
They were doing illegal shit and not reporting. They didn't have the right permits, for taking water. And,
well, because Nestle also has Nestle Pure Life.
well, everyone is talking about, stop showering or, stop drinking water and you'll help the drought. But that's, the individuals aren't the ones that are contributing to a majority of the problem. It's somewhat agriculture.
Yeah, Arrowhead's Nestle.
Heavily meat industry, and then, water bottling. Water bottling.
Bottled water?
Yeah.
The water that is in a bottle.
The bottling of their water.
Yeah, it's... People are really kind of silly. They're just like, well, if we stop watering our lawns, then everything will be fine. It's like... Watering your lawn is taking, a fraction compared to what is used in the meat industry and agriculture and everything. And
what sucks is California is the number one exporter of agriculture in the United States. Washington is number 2. And so for, economically, this is not, this is obviously super harmful. And then...
I'm just scrolling down a list of brands Nestle owns.
It's very long.
Oh my god, I knew they owned a lot, but holy shit.
No, I was not joking when I said they owned 90% of the food in the world. They own over 2,000 brands. Anyway, you were saying?
I don't know. I think a lot of people have also been blaming almonds specifically, and I don't know if that's entirely accurate. I think probably...
Well, almonds are water intensive, but
yes.
You can't blame one crop when agriculture is,
right,
a
and
huge
agriculture
contributor.
is a lot more beneficial than meat industry, which, as far as you go for usage to output, you can grow a lot more plants with the amount of water it takes or that you waste with a cow. And we eat meat, but, I mean, Eli and I were vegetarian before, and we don't eat a lot of meat, but,
we still don't eat it. We don't eat much meat.
We don't eat a lot of meat now.
We had, 2 meals
with meat
in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use 3
I mean, we
pounds
don't eat that much meat, but I think even if you do eat meat, which yeah, we do, I think it's important to examine its effect. It pollutes water. It takes a lot of water, and then you also have to count the crops that are fed to, say, beef cows, are viable for feeding to people. Most of the world's soy goes towards livestock, So when you're talking about watering plants, you have to also consider that some of these plants are only going into meat, So the amount of water it takes to take care of a cow, I think that did the governor make policies for them that, don't water your lawn and all these other things, or I'm not sure who did it, but those laws are not going to affect their problem enough. Apparently NASA said they only have 1 year of water.
Something like 9 months, I think it was.
Yeah. So not watering your lawn isn't gonna, it's not enough of a push at this point.
You shouldn't be blaming general citizens who are using what really is a fraction of the water that the corporations are using.
Yeah, and they need to examine agriculture and industry that's using the most water, and that's not lucrative. That's not economically immediately beneficial, but in the long run, you run out of water. What are you going to grow then, Well, they can just move to other places, but your state becomes a wasteland. So it's stupid. Anyway, I was joking about talking about it mostly, but
I mean, it's important, and it's...
Yeah, then I was looking at it, and that's stupid.
Really important issues that have contributed to it. So, I don't know. We don't live in California, though.
Yeah. But
we've got a lot of water.
There's also a minor drought on the east, across the mountains in Washington right now.
Yeah.
But that's also typical. The weather there is...
The weather on the west coast of Washington...
Temperate.
And the eastern part of Washington
entirely
is
different.
really, really different.
Yeah.
Most people forget that eastern Washington exists.
Yeah, the coast is temperate, green, wet. I mean, we have summer.
Well, that's because the mountains keep all the water over here.
Right, and then the east is where all the plants grow, harsher. They get snow, they get sun, but
that's where the majority of the agriculture takes place.
Where, apples, whatever. I don't know. The thing you were talking about the other day was when we eat apples, we don't actually usually eat Washington apples in Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's the same thing with Idaho. Idaho doesn't have any Idaho potatoes.
So
they export all of their potatoes.
One of the first times I had a good... Because, the apples you get here, unless you get them from a actual local producer of apples...
Yeah, orchard.
If you go if you go to Yakima in eastern Washington and you buy a case of apples from the orchard, they're amazing.
Yeah.
But when you go to the grocery store here, you're usually getting the bottom of the barrel because all the good stuff is exported. So the first time I had a really good Washington apple that didn't come from, my uncle's orchard, because he has a huge apple orchard, was when I was in Hong Kong. And I had an amazing Red Delicious from Washington State. And I was like, wow, Washington Red Delicious actually are okay. When they're on the other side of the world.
Is that your rich uncle?
Yeah, it's my rich uncle.
Yeah.
Tell him to fund our freaking stuff. Like, tell him just give us a bunch
I don't
of
think
money.
he would
He's an
support.
asshole.
I don't think he would support our endeavors.
I don't think so. No.
Tell him just...
Is he a... What is he?
A person?
What's his job?
He doesn't have a job.
What?
He sold his fucking company.
What?
And now
Tell him
he
to
makes
give us
money off his
$1,000
investment.
so we can
That's
build
rude.
computers that we can use to actually do things. Because my fucking laptop can't render things anymore.
My family has no rich people. No, there's nothing.
My family does. They just don't like me.
Yeah, I always.
You're
yeah.
gay. They don't
I
care.
always wish that I was like born to parents who like had something, like you could be rich, you could like own something. I don't know where I could work.
I guess I do. I do work for my dad's company.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
you
also
have
a fucking shit
Yeah,
job.
Eli has a regular
So-
warehouse job. Like,
yeah, not even a cushy like I'm
Yeah.
the boss's kid job.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
your dad seems like the type that's like, you need to learn about like industrious and hardworking lifestyle.
I started working for his company when I was 8.
Ah,
Ugh.
Yeah.
that's
And I've been doing the same
Questionable.
fucking thing the whole time.
Yeah,
I've
that's
always been in the
I
warehouse.
think that's
Yeah.
a little bit questionable.
okay. But what about like the kid that wrote Aragon, whose parents
Ugh, that
were like
kid
publishers? Like, why couldn't that be my parents? Why couldn't they like fund and publish my shit book?
Yeah, oh god, those are bad books. I thought they were so good when I was a kid, and
I
then I
like-
like realized that no, the writing in these are
Okay,
is
I didn't
awful.
think they were that good when I was a kid.
I didn't read them till
I
I
don't know.
was.
I didn't like the dragons.
I didn't read them till I was in high school. Till I was a senior, I got a box set of them.
Which is sitting in the
Which-
bedroom right now, actually.
That's like 6 years after everyone else read them. Like, they were really popular when I was in 6th grade. Like, everyone was reading them then. So I had them then, and I got the four of them, and I read the first one, and I didn't hate it. You know, like, a book is a book. You can be like, this isn't the most profound, delightful read I've ever experienced, but you can say, I guess that was kind of fun. It took me somewhere else for a bit. And that's kind of what it was
I
like.
guess as long as you enjoy it, it's doing what it's supposed to.
Yeah,
So-
but then I crack open the second book. I read, I don't know if it was the prologue or if it had a prologue or if it was the first few pages, and I'm like, I know exactly what's going to happen for the rest of this book.
Yeah, every single book was like that.
I knew exactly what was going to happen.
I haven't never read the 4th book, and I know how it ends. I just couldn't read it because it was right after I had read the first one. I was like, I can't do this. Well,
but I own them in hardcover.
And he ripped off a lot of names from like Tolkien and stuff. Like there was actually a really good breakdown. I'd have to find it again, so I'm not gonna post it in the fucking show
Well, like,
notes, but
wasn't he a teenager?
he was like he was 16 when he released the first book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, yeah, you did it.
It's like,
you obviously had potential, but you really should have.
I'm not hating
it
on
was
him.
like-
honed your craft first.
Well,
I don't care.
I guess my thing with it is it's like the 50 Shades of Grey kind of fan fiction that they just changed the names in, and then it's suddenly something new.
Like an AU.
Yeah, it's pretty much was. Like, I think the majority of the names are ripped off from Tolkien and other, like, famous...
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And, like, the Elven language
never
is
read.
slightly modified Tolkien Elvish. And stuff like he ripped off a lot of stuff. Like, there was a bunch of, there was, like, a really nice breakdown of it, and it was just, like, at one point that I read it, it was, like, he took, like, pretty much the base story from something else, modified it with some Tolkien, and then added in one other thing, and called it a new book, essentially.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I think of every bad thing I wrote when I was 16,
Oh my
and it's
God.
like, I guess if I had the means, I might have done something horrible and unleashed it into the world, but...
The Hunted started off as fucking Legend of Dragoon fanfiction. I'm not even kidding. I was 11 years old and I wrote Legend of Dragoon fanfiction that eventually became Hunted.
Okay,
That's where everyone fucking starts. Like, one of H.P. Lovecraft's stories
The first thing
was
I wrote...
fucking fan fiction
Yellow
for
King.
somebody else. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's like that happens.
Or Yellow Emperor.
The
No,
first-
Yellow King. Yellow
Yeah.
King.
The first thing I wrote was Star Wars.
Yeah, like you start off in fan fiction, but we don't have we had to go and craft and learn how to write instead of just our fan fiction getting published.
Yeah.
So
I wish
that
I
was the
was
difference.
I wish I was so lucky.
Yeah, I also remember, like, one of the reasons I started really hating those books was because I was writing all the time, and so my egg donor of a mother was, like, comparing me to him, and, like, well, why aren't you published at his age and stuff? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I'm, like, 14. What the fuck? Like, I haven't sent anything to anybody to get a rejection letter yet. Eat a dick.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I don't know. It was...
I mean, I think... I don't know. Did he do anything later? Or
No,
is he just
I don't
like...
think he's done
money,
anything
money,
else
money.
since then.
That's what I'd probably do, honestly.
Yeah, I would
I'd
retire.
be like, I'm comfortable.
I would just build a new computer and play
I'm
video
known
games
for
the rest of my life.
I'm known for this, whatever that was. I don't know if I can recover, but I
Well,
have money, so...
Hasn't the stuff that Rowling's done after Harry Potter just kind of flopped?
I don't know. You know? I'm sure there's some committed fans.
Yeah, but I don't think
that
I haven't heard much buzz about anything she's
well,
done
no,
since.
but there's that movie. There's a movie.
Yeah, and okay.
I'm sure it's gonna be popular.
she published her next.
Did
her
she
next,
do an adult?
She did
Yeah,
another
she
book,
did,
and it was
didn't
really,
do-
really different.
And it didn't do
Yeah.
well at all.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
which,
realistic,
and I think
or-
sometimes, it's like a story about like some English village and like local politics.
Yeah.
And from what I heard, like it was good, but I think sometimes when you have that kind of that explosive success,
You get
can't
trapped.
move. You can't
Yeah.
move
Well,
on
and
into
also
anything
you
else.
shouldn't go from young adult fantasy fiction to local English politics.
Yeah, and like it's,
That's a big jump.
But I mean, maybe
it was
that's
like
just
a
what she
character
wanted to
study.
write.
Yeah, but then put
it's
it under
not-
a pen name and don't put it towards your name because people are going to associate
Yeah.
your name with your earlier work.
Yeah,
And going from one thing to a drastically
But
different thing.
as an artist, I think that also makes me uncomfortable that there's this idea that you have to produce for...
No. You don't have to produce for anybody.
Well,
It's-
and
there's,
she
like,
already has
tons-
enough money that it doesn't matter. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what she
True.
wright.
True.
It doesn't matter if that flopped.
She's richer
you
than the
know?
queen, so
That's the
fucking-
thing. So I think
and that's
that...
fucking rich.
Isn't she
Yeah.
like one of the most richest? She's one of the most wealthy women in the world.
I don't know. Google.
She's got
Google
a
it.
lot of money. She's been richer than the queen for many, many years now. But yeah, like I don't know. I don't think like you have to like not make the things you like to do, but you shouldn't expect it to do well if you
I
make
don't
something
know if
that's
she- I don't know if she did
when
expect
you have that
it
much
to
fucking
do
money,
well.
it was probably like, hey, I want to write this thing. Oh, okay, well, I got some money, but who cares? What is happening?
I don't even know if she
What the fuck are
expected
you
it to
doing?
do
There we
well.
yeah. I don't know.
I saw her. I think she was
I
on
don't wanna
Colbert
fucking
or something.
go. Slideshow.
I think she was on Colbert talking about it. Was that where we saw it?
I don't know. I just remember seeing the book when it came out.
Oh,
So,
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't you then. I think she was on some kind of a talk thing.
But there's like
talking
tons
about
and
it.
tons of authors who have done that, who have wanted to break into a different genre, or like, you
You-
know, oh, I write mystery novels, but I wanted to write this romance or whatever,
Oh.
and they just do it under a pen name.
I was listening to Dead Authors podcast, and it was... Who's the guy that wrote Sherlock Holmes?
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah, he tried to kill him. People got mad, so he brought him back to life. And then he again later killed him because he hated him so much.
Oh yeah, no, he hated him.
I don't remember what it was that he decided to write after, but it was something so different.
Oh, J.K. Rowling's not worth shit compared to the richest women in the world. Like, the lowest on that list was like $31 billion, and she only has $1 billion.
Oh,
I'm
so
And
so
everyone
only
on
has
that
$1 billion.
Everyone on that list was this they all looked the same. It was ancient white women.
Oh.
Every last one of them was just ancient ass white women.
Because like a lot of the like Let me start over. I feel like it's all old money.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
It's all like, and I
Well,
like,
even
who's
if
the
they
richest man in the world right now?
Google it, even if they made more money, it's all based in old money.
Yeah,
you
it's
have to
all
have
based in
money
old
to
money.
make money. That's like a saying.
That's the yeah.
So J.K. Rowling maybe lived in her van and made a book and now has $1 billion, but that's nothing compared to these people who have billions.
Okay.
Billions.
Carlos
Billions.
Slim is on the top.
Ooh, what's he do?
He's got he's like a investor or something.
Oh.
But his net worth is $53.5 billion. Then Bill Gates with $53 billion. Then Warren Buffett after him, and so on.
Too much.
Yeah, too much money. Although Bill Gates has already said he's getting rid of all of his money before
The
he
one
dies.
thing about him is he does donate a lot.
He donates all of it. Like, he's lost... He went down by almost half of his fortune already.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because he was worth like $72 billion
What can
before.
one person do with that much money?
That's why he's just like, I'm just giving it away to charities and shit and researching.
I think I would want my kids to have enough money to be safe and then give away the rest.
He's not.
I know he's not
He's
into
like,
that.
nah.
I know he's not into that. But
Yeah.
if I had kids, I would be like, yeah, I want them to be able to
Yeah.
be okay. And maybe do, like, obviously I worked hard for my money, but maybe they want to be a painter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what I would do. But I don't have children and I'm not rich. So
There's this guy who lives in Washington.
Honey, you have to.
Sorry, Paul Allen, and he's very wealthy. And when my dad was working landscape, the company he was working for was doing a bid for Paul Allen's like property, because what he wanted to do was dump his money into his property so that after he died he could like create a public space, like a park.
Oh,
that's
cool.
when I got to go like to hit like some rich guy's 4th of July party, and he had like a pinball machine that was there. I was like 9. I was younger than 9. I must have been like 6. It was really cool. He had a swimming pool.
I remember.
Oh my god.
I remember helping
Yes.
my uncle with some landscaping in a rich person's house in Michigan. I do remember that the entirety of the thing that we did was the guy wanted a hill in his front yard.
What the fuck?
And so we actually dumped stumps in a pile and then buried them. Mm-hmm. And then laid sod over top of that.
Wouldn't those...
It won't drop that much because we filled it in with dirt too. So we'd like put down a layer of stumps,
Is that
put
like
down
the
dirt.
standard?
Yeah, that's how you make a
making?
hill. That's how you make a landscaping hill, I guess. It's a lot cheaper than buying like 35 tons of dirt or something.
I guess
Yeah.
even when they deteriorate, they still make
Yeah, they
dirt.
just turn into dirt.
But
Well, that's why.
Because-
That's how like people find fucking archaeological sites, because you have mounds from where people had like wood and shit.
Well,
That's a
that's
very
the thing,
scientific
like,
description of how archaeological discovery works.
well, the thing is, we ended up like the entire reason was because we could get the stumps and get paid to take the stumps, and then we used the stumps at this job to fill in this thing. But the
So
guy's house was the cool part. That was what I was going to try to bring up. The guy's house had one floor on the surface.
I
It
love
was
underground houses.
10 stories deep.
what the that's terrifying to me.
10
I don't want
stories
that.
deep.
I love windows. I like skylights. Please don't.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, he had an elevator that went down 10 floors into
That's
the ground.
really horrifying to me.
It was awesome and awful. And all I can think now is the sepulchre.
No, none of that.
Wait for Tuesday. You'll know what I mean.
Oh god.
But yeah, I mean, it was definitely a thing that we did. I don't know. You guys got anything else?
No. I never landscaped or was involved in landscaping for any rich people in my youth, so I have nothing to add.
Okay. Well,
I did go to a 4th of July party once where my kindergarten teacher got shot with a firework.
Oh God, I have so many firework stories, but
That's
I'm gonna save those.
That's
For
entirely
another
different.
time.
I will save those for a 4th of July episode. Because
See,
there
the
are
time
a
I got
lot.
fireworks shot at me was on New Year's.
All I can say is there was a lot of Roman candles growing up.
Yeah, those are bad.
I'm
those
afraid
are
of
bad. That's what I got
fireworks.
shot at me.
But anyway, that should be all for today. We're about in an hour anyway, so we should probably wrap up. If you have questions, links down below to send us questions.
Ask us questions.
We like answering
We love
questions, and it
it.
gives us something to talk about.
We like talking to people via
Answers.
questions.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm trying.
But yeah, we are on Patreon at patreon.com/SSP. It helps support us.
So we don't have to deal with our terrible bosses.
Well, it's not even that. It's like this shit isn't free. Like the hosting for this podcast and the website and everything is not free. And
Computers that actually render shit.
yeah, aren't free. I'm in the middle of a build that I cannot finish because I just don't have the funds for it. And right now, like, my laptop is not keeping up with how much we're doing.
Not remotely.
It's still rendering right now as we're talking.
And it was rendering all while we were sleeping.
All night.
I set it to render at 10 o'clock last night. I woke up 8 hours later and only 3 videos were finished. So, hey, funding us helps us make more stuff faster. So if you like our stuff and you have a little bit extra money each month, maybe chip it our way. We're not asking for a lot, just like $1 or $2 a month. If you hit certain levels of pledges, you get extra shit, like early access to podcasts. Hunted will go up a week early it'll go up a few days early on there. Artwork and stuff that we do, songs, all that stuff goes up early on the Patreon if you're at $5 or more. We're still working on other levels for people to pledge at, and working on our goals for things. But yeah, check us out there. SpiderSquaredProductions.com for like the actual podcast places.
Everything's there, right?
Yeah, Videogarms we're doing is where we write up about video games. I've actually got something going up this week about in-game economies for a bunch of free-to-play and buy-to-play stuff. Like Warframe and Guild Wars 2 and ESO and stuff. Then we also have Dead the Comic, which is coming back, working on the next page right now, actually. I'm actually just about done with the line art for it, so then coloring is a lot quicker. Actually, it's black and white, so I don't even have to do that. I can just work with black and white. And more art stuff will be going up. Vann will be posting more music.
Yeah.
Eli will be eventually posting some writing. I'm going to force them to.
Yeah.
Max will be doing something coming up this week. We have a bunch of stuff on Recurring V's. YouTube.com/Recurring V's is all of our video stuff. So Let's Plays, Vann playing music, different shows on there like Fuck Is This Friday, which is us fucking around with a random game we don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. And now I'm making Eli play all of them because it's way funnier when they do.
Because I'm terrible.
Yeah, Super Wagon Adventure was fun. There's 1 hour to impress where we play a video game for an hour and we don't know anything about it. It's the first time playing it and we give our impressions of it. We have Charnel House starting today. We have Finding Teddy 2 starting today. We have Life is Strange starting today. Killer is Dead is continuing today. Claire is continuing today. And I have a short video out about Duelist, which is a upcoming free to play card tactics game. So lots of shit going up this week. Come check it out. Anything from you guys?
Nope.
All right. Well,
you covered it.
Okay. Well, you can find Vann at Pansy Boyfriend everywhere. Eli at Kisses. Eli at
Eli Kisses Rats.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Me at Recurring V's everywhere. Max is at Squeaking Hiccups everywhere but Twitter, where it's Squeaking Hiccup, because Twitter limits your characters. I don't want to give out Hayden's contact information just in case. Not going to give out Seiji's because I know they don't want that. And Amanda is Squidbat on Tumblr. Yes. So, hit us up. And anyway.
We're nice.
Have a nice night, everybody.
Bye.